So the exam also validates a candidate ability to complete the following task: design solution that incorporates AWS service to meet current business requirement and future project needs. Design architecture that are secure, resilient, high performance, and cost optimized. Okay. Review existing solution and determine improvements. Okay, got it. Target candidate description. The target candidate should have at least 1 year of hands-on experience designing cloud solution that uses AWS services. For detailed list of specific tools and technology that might be covered on the exam, as well as the list of in-scope and out-of-scope AWS services, refer to appendix. Okay, so basically, at the end of this PDF, you can see like what all services are covered for the exam and what all are not. So I think if you go down, let's go down. Okay, this one, right? This is the appendix. So it says like which key tools and technologies and concepts might be covered on the exam. So the following is a non-exhaustive list of tools and technologies that would cover on the exam. The list is subject to change and it is provided to help you understand the generic scope of services, features, and technology on the exam. The general tools and technology in this list appears in no particular order. So there is no particular order of it, but they are just specifying what all services, technologies, and uh, features which is in respect to the examination. So while some of these technologies will likely to be covered more than other on the exam, in the placement of them in the list is no indication of relative weights and importance. So for weights and importance, that is actually specified on top of this document, but let's move forward. So basically, this all topics are valid for our examination for AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate examination. So first one is compute, cost management, database, disaster recovery, high performance, management and governance, microservices and component decoupling, migrating and data transfer, network connectivity and content delivery, resilience, security, serverless and event-driven design principles, and storage. Okay, got it. So AWS services and features for analytics, the Amazon Athena, AWS Data Exchange, AWS Data Pipeline, AWS EMR, AWS Glue, AWS Kinesis. Okay. AWS Lake Formation, AWS Managed Streaming for Apache Kafka. Okay, MKS. Amazon Open Search Service, Amazon QuickSight, Amazon Redshift. Okay. Application integration, Amazon AppFlow, AWS AppSync, AWS Event Bridge, AWS MQ, AWS Simple Notification Service, Amazon Simple Queue Service, AWS Step Functions. Okay. Cost management, AWS budget cost and usage report, AWS cost explorer, saving plans. Okay. Compute, AWS batch, EC2, Amazon EC2 auto scaling, AWS Amazon Beanstalk, AWS Outpost, AWS serverless application repository, VMware Cloud on AWS, AWS Wavelength container. Okay, they also support various containers technology, so which are Amazon Elastic Container Registry, Amazon ECR, Amazon Elastic Container Services. Okay. Amazon ECS, Amazon ECS Anywhere, Amazon Elastic Kubernetes Services, Amazon EKS Anywhere, Amazon EKS Distro. Okay. Databases are Amazon Aurora, sorry. Amazon Aurora Serverless, Amazon Document DB, Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon Elastic Cache, Amazon Keyspace, Amazon Neptune, Amazon Quantum Ledger Database, Amazon RDS, Amazon Redshift, Amazon TimeStream, Developer Tools, Amazon X-Ray, Front-End Web Mobile, AWS Amplify, AWS API Gateway, AWS Device Farm, Amazon Pinpoint, for machine learning, Amazon Comprehend. So yeah, this all things are there, quite a extensive list. For network, you can see Amazon CloudFront, AWS Direct Connect, ELB, Global Accelerator, Private Links, Route S3, sorry, Route F53, Amazon VPC, AWS VPN. For security, yeah, there are many security services as well, which is covered. Serverless storage, out of scope. Okay, so here you can see what all services are out of scope for examination per se. So following is a non-exhaustive list of AWS services and features that are not covered for the examination. This service or feature do not represent every AWS offering that exclude from the exam content. So first one is analytics, cloud, Amazon Cloud Search, Amazon integration, Amazon manage workflow for Apache Air, workflows for Apache Airflow. Okay, AR and VR, Amazon Sumerian blockchain, Amazon manage blockchain compute, Amazon Light Sail database, Amazon RDS on VMware developer tools. Yeah, so these all things are not covered for the examination per se. There are many services which are not covered. So yeah, you can go to these services and you can check. Okay, so as you all know, like the response time. So there are two types of questions on the exam. So first one is multiple choice, another one is multiple responses. So from multiple choice, as we all know, like there will be one correct response for three incorrect options. So there will be three incorrect options and there will be one correct response. So total there will be four questions, four options in which you have to select one. Multiple responses has two or more correct responses out of five or more response options. So yeah, this might be a little bit tricky, I guess, right? Because uh, you have to give two or more responses for each question. Select one or more responses and then best complete the statement or answer the question. Distraction or incorrect answers are responses option that candidate with complete knowledge or skill might choose. Distractors or general possible response that match the content area. Unanswered questions are scored are incorrect. There are no penalty of guessing. The exam includes 50 questions that will affect your score. Unscore content. The exam includes 19 sorry, exam contains 15 unscored questions that do not affect your score. AWS collect information about the candidate performance on this unscored question to evaluate this question for future use as code question. These unscored questions are not identified on the exam. Okay, got it. Exam results. So AWS certified solution architect associate exam is pass or fail exam. The exam is scored against a minimum standard established by AWS professional who follow certification industry best practices and guidelines. Your result for the examination are reported on the scale of 100 to 1000. A minimum passing marks is 720. Your score shows how you performed in the examination as a whole and whether you passed or not. Scale scoring model help evaluate score across multiple exam forms that might have slightly different difficulty levels. Your score report could contain a table of classification of your performance on each section. This information provides general feedback about your examination performance. Okay, your score report will have a table of classification, and it gives the performance for each section. The information provided provides a general feedback about your examination performance. That's fine. So examination uses a compensatory scoring model. Okay, which means that you do not need to achieve a passing score in each section. Okay, so that is what compensatory scoring model. So it means, I guess it means like if you score bad in one of the section and if you are doing exceptionally well in some another section, so it can compensate. So I think there is no minimum cutoff for each of the sections. You need to pass only the overall exam. That's true. Each section of the examination have a specific weight. Each section of the exam has a specific weight. Got it? So some sections has more questions than the other sections. The table contains general information that highlights your strength and weakness. Use caution when interpreting section level feedback. Candidate who pass the exam will not receive this additional information. Okay. So content outlines. So the exam guide includes weighting, test domain, and task statement for examination. It is not a comprehensive listing of the content of the exam. However, additional context of each of the exam statement is available to guide your preparation of the examination. The following table lists the main content domain and their weights. The table presides the complete exam content, which includes the additional section. The percentage in each domain represents only score content. Okay, got it. So here is the weightage of each of the sections, each of the domains in the examination. So I think so this examination has been designed into four different domains. The first one is designing resilient architecture. Sorry, designing secure architecture. Weight is 30%, which is the most among all of the domains. Then designing resilient architecture, which is 26, which holds a weightage of 26 percentage. Designing high performance architecture, 24 percentage. Design cost optimized architecture, which weight whose weight is around 20, right? Okay, so yeah. Okay. So the first domain is design secure architecture. So the first task statement. First task statement, okay. Design secure access to AWS resources. Knowledge of access control and management across multiple accounts. AWS Federal Access and Identity Management Services, AWS Identity and Access Management, and AWS Single Sign-On, AWS SSO, AWS Global Infrastructure, for example, availability zones and AWS regions, AWS Security Best Practices, for example, the principle of least privilege, AWS Share Model Responsibility. Okay. Skill in applying AWS security best practices to IAM user and root user, for example, multi-factor authentication. Okay, designing a flexible authorized model that includes IAM user group roles and policies. Designing a role-based access control strategy. Okay, designing a security strategy for multiple AWS account. For example, control tower service control policies. Determine the appropriate use of the resource policy for AWS services. Determine when to federate to directory services with IAM roles. Design a secure workload and application. Knowledge of application configuration and credential security. AWS service endpoint control port protocols and network traffic on AWS. Secure application access. Security advice with appropriate use case. Threat vector extended to AWS. Okay, you have to be skilled in designing VPC architecture with security components. For example, security group route tables, network ACL, and NAT gateway. Okay, determining network segregation strategies. For example, using public and private subnets. Integrate AWS services to secure application. For example, AWS Shield, AWS WAF. I think it is Web Application Firewall. AWS SSO, AWS Secret Manager. Okay, securing external network connections to and from the AWS cloud. For example, VPN, AWS Cloud Connect. Statement 3. Determine approach of data security. So for the first statement was related to the securing of the AWS resources. Second was designing secure workload and application. Now the third one is determining appropriate data security control. So it's basically the security for the data. Got it? So the first one was for the AWS resources. Second one is for the workload and applications, and third one is to secure your data. So need to have data of data access and governance, data recovery, data retention and classification, encryption and appropriate key management. Okay. Skill in aligning AWS technology to meet the company compliance requirement, encrypting data at rest. For example, AWS KMS, Key Management Service, encrypting data in transit. For example, AWS Certification Manager, Certificate Manager, ACM with TLS, implementing access policies for encryption key, implementing data backup and replication, implementing policies for data access, live access and protection, rotating encryption key and renewing certificate. Okay, got it. So this is all about designing secure architecture. Thank you.